Alright everybody, I'm going to show you today a little bit how I flush my Kawasaki 750 SS. This year is a 96. So I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to show you a little bit of the ski too, because she's a pretty thing here. Starts up, runs like a champ. And I'm sure you've seen, I don't know if you guys have seen any other videos I've had of the 650 SX stand up. If you guys want to see a little more of that, let me know too also. Thing is a beast. But anyway, so the way I've got mine rigged up here is, as I don't know if everybody has one, but most of the time I'm pretty sure after a certain year, Kawasaki made these kind of factory. It's just a fitting, it goes on top of the head here, sorry. And I don't know exactly what size it is, but it's just a brass fitting. It comes up, and I've got mine actually rigged to a dishwasher drain hose. Because the end of it that goes inside the dishwasher is the exact same size as this fitting here. So all I do is use the same clamp, fits on there absolutely perfect. And I've got my little handy dandy valve here, which I recommend to anybody that's maybe new to jet skis, or if you're trying to learn, this is more or less for you. This valve is very important because on these jet skis, you never ever want to run the water first with the ski off. The ski's sitting there not running at all. Don't ever turn the water on, because the way these things go, let me explain it to you a little bit. Maybe you don't, a lot of people don't explain it or don't understand, is the water comes from the back of the jet drive, which everybody here is the front, right? Okay, so it comes through here. You've got two fittings. They're sucking the water in, and they come directly into your exhaust manifold. Now, I don't know if a lot of people think it's the head, or it has nothing to do with that. It goes to the exhaust manifold. Now, if you crank that water on right here, that water is going to go directly into this line. It's going to flood all the way into here. It's going to go right into your manifold, straight into your cylinder, and then when you go to compress water, guess what happens? You got a bent crankshaft, and that means your motor is basically done. Well, not done, but it's going to cost a good amount of money. So, with that being said, please keep in mind, always, turn your jet ski on. I say run it. Here's the way you can remember. Turn it on, run it, count 5 seconds. 4, 3, whatever you want to do, 3, 4, 5. Then turn your water on. Ready? Alright, so here we go. Remember, jet ski on first. Always got to remember, the water has to come out of here. If your water's not coming out of that little line, then you better shut that thing off, and shut the water off first. Still, shut the water off first. Shut that thing off real quick, because that means you're not getting water. You got a clog, something like that. You're gonna burn it up real quick. All right. Flushing these bad boys, you're going to want to do is you want to run it, I'd say between 3 to 5 minutes with the water going. And you want to make sure that normally if you rode your jet ski already, or if you haven't, you don't want a whole lot of water going through there. You want enough just so you can do it just right. Now, being how at the end of it, when I shut the water off, yes, I was giving it a little bit of gas there, revving it up, but you're supposed to do that. Whenever you turn the water off, you want to make sure that you blow out whatever water could be sitting up in the exhaust. You definitely don't want something running back in, and that's the best way to ensure that you don't have it. And I'm 100% positive that any dealership will recommend that. Shut the water off, Give it a couple revs. You don't have to go crazy, just a couple good revs. Blow that water out, and it's good. Alright, so now pretty much now that you ran it, we'll say a good, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Disconnect everything. Go ahead and pull that off. Then put your regular thing back on. You got a little cap. I don't know if it has it, but this is what mine looks like in case you need to know. It's just a cap that goes over that same fitting. It's got a little piece that goes around, but I also put a clamp on mine just because I don't trust that little rubber piece. And most of the time you shouldn't trust the rubbers. Alright, so now after you've got everything disconnected, you got your little piece all on there, nice and good. Make sure it's on there real nice. Just come over here, start your skid again for, I don't know, a good 5-10 seconds. That's all you want to do. That's just to ensure that you pretty much blow whatever remaining water could be inside the exhaust. Again, just remember, it's the exhaust that's the most important part there, because the way the head works, it's pretty simple, pretty cool the way they did it. It's just a simple little, just a water flow, and all it does is come in here, runs through this point, runs to the bottom, just to about this point here. I don't know if you can see, probably can't. Has a little cycle, comes back up on this point, and it just returns to here on mine. That's all it does. Comes in from the bottom, runs a cycle, comes straight to the exhaust. And then that's the point you want to worry about, because like I said, the water comes back in through this exhaust, goes into your cylinders. So that's a big no-no. Alright, and so anyway, we're going to go ahead and here move on to this. As far as maintenance-wise, this is a little quick, good little tip. If you're going to have these things, especially these older models, everybody, these things, used, man, you really gotta make sure that you do your homework on these if you're gonna buy one. Or, people will say whatever they want to say to get these things gone. You see what I'm saying? So when they're used, you have no idea how many, people have probably gone through it, or, what they've done to it. So the best thing you can do is make sure that when you get it, you go through it the majority of everything you can. So, so anyway, on the tip part, coming back to this, that's why this right here, fluid film, which I got at O'Reilly's, which I'm sure they sell at O'Reilly's, AutoZone, places like that. It's called fluid film. Powerful rust and corrosion. I'm sure you can read that. Make sure you can read that. It's got right here, it's a multi-purpose, it's an eco-friendly, easy to apply, there's no solvents. Basically, to me, what it's reminding me of is like a spray paint. And when I say spray paint, I don't mean like paint. But I'm sure if you spray painted before, the way this can comes out is like a spray paint. And the best thing about it is it's good for every single thing in here. You just want to coat. You want to soak, coat. Just like a spray paint. Like this. Mira. Look at that. That's all you got to do. Just spray it on every little thing. Just a coat on your battery terminals. Here in the hoses, clamps. Every little, little aspect you can get back there. Up here. Just a nice coat. That's all. And there you go. That will completely keep every hose, clamp. It'll help the moisture. It'll suck up the moisture, but it'll, just in general, keep all your stuff from splitting, because that's what happens on these older skis. Is the fuel hoses, the water lines, all that, any clamps, hoses like that, they deteriorate over time. People that don't take care of them, they let them sit. If they don't lube them with anything, these hoses are going to crack. And that's what happens. The fuel lines eventually crack, get corroded, get clogged. You burn them up. Same thing with the water lines. You get a water line clogged, guess what? You burn it up. So that's what the main part about this is maintaining the inside of these things. The outside, of course, you want to always just wash. And what I use is cool. Is it's called a wax dry. And then I'll show that to you in a second. All right, like I said, I'm going to show you this kind of cool stuff right here. So again, and also if you guys are going to get into jet skis, this is pretty much a full-size toolbox you can see that goes in the bed of a truck. And I've got this thing plumb full at the top, as you can see. And that's because